Okay. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I want you to see the practical difference between a PWM controller and an MPPT charge controller. You have been hearing about MPPTs and PWM charge controllers, but you don't really know the working principles of these charge controllers. You already know that a PWM charge controller clips voltage, it wastes voltage. It wastes voltage rather, and an MPPT controller is very efficient for charging batteries, but you don't really know, you have never seen the difference. So I want to show you the practical difference now, how the PWM charge controller wastes voltage, how it clips voltage, and how the MPPT charge controller shows efficiency in voltage management. So let's assume you have about 50 volts coming from your panel and you connect it to a PWM charge controller. The charge controller will utilize about 12 to 14 volts, that is equivalent voltage of the battery, and it will discard the other voltage, so it will waste the other voltage, so it will be using only 14 volts, and it will be using also the panel current. But an MPPT controller, on the other hand, it utilizes efficiency, just as I've said. The 50 volt that is coming from the panel, it will use 14 volts or so, 14 or 12 volts to charge the battery, then to convert the left off voltage to current, so you have a higher current and also a good voltage for charging your battery. So let me show you. Now this is an MPPT controller and this is a PWM controller. So I want to show you how. Let me use my multimeter to check the voltage that is coming from the panel. So always disconnect the panel first, or if you are connecting a charge controller, ensure to always connect the battery first. Okay. So this is the cable that supplies voltage from the panel. Do not care about the way how rough it looks. It is just for demonstration purpose. Okay, so this is the cable that supplies voltage from the panel. So let me test. Let's see the voltage that is coming from the panel. This is my multimeter. Can you see? Okay, can you see? Come closer. We have about 78.6 volts that is coming from the panel. Okay, this is 78 volts coming from the panel. Now let us connect this 78 volts to the PWM controller. Let's see how it clips or how it discards voltage. So let's connect the battery first. The battery has been connected. Let me connect the cable from the panel. Okay, to take note, before I connected to the charge controller, I had about 78 volts. So let us test now. Let's check the voltage here on this PWM controller. Now let's see what voltage it reads. Come closer, let's see. So this is my multimeter. Okay, so what is the voltage now? 11.2 volts. That is, we are wasting about I think 50 something to 60 volts. I think 60 volts or 60 volts or so. So we only have 11 volts. So the other 60 or 50 something volts has been discarded. So it will use only 11 volts. And to also use the voltage from the panel. The current from the panel. Let us see the current here. It will not increase the current in any way, but an MPPT charge controller increases current. So let us see the current that is coming from the panel. 0.2 amps. Can you see? This is 0.2 amps. That is the current that is coming from the panel. Okay. So, but an MPPT charge controller will increase this. Will use the left voltage to increase current. It will convert it to current because it has inbuilt transformers and other components that converts the left voltage to current, so that you have a good current and also a good voltage to charge your battery. Okay, so that is the difference between an MPPT and a PWM controller. So if you want to verify, if you want to buy a controller, because there are a lot of controllers out there that disguises as an MPPT controller, but they are PWM controller inbuilt. So you can use this method to check the type of controller, to see what type of controller it is.
A few moments later.
Okay, so let us check the panel current, the current that is coming from the panel. Let's use our multimeter to check the current that is coming from the panel. So Okay, so this is the current that's coming from the panel. You have about 1.04 amps. That is the current that is coming from the panel. 1.04 amps. Okay, so let's connect to the PWM controller. Okay, you can see here about 0.5 amps. That is approximately 1 amps. Okay, there's no increase in current in any way. So it is taking the current directly from the panel and using it here. So let us connect to the MPPT controller now. Let's read the current and see the current output. Let's see how the left off voltage will be converted to current. Okay, so we had about a 78 volts. So let's check the voltage of this MPPT controller. So let's check the voltage with our multimeter. Okay, remember we had about 78 volts with this that coming directly from the panel. So let us check now. Let's check the voltage after connecting the panel to the controller. Let us check the voltage. So we still have about 55 volts. Can you see 55 volts? Just a piece of truncation. Okay, we have about 55 volts that is connected to this MPPT controller. So this MPPT controller will now convert, we use some parts for the charging the battery and we convert the other part to current. So let's check the current that is coming from the panel. Let's see the current. You know we have about 0.5 amps on this PWM controller. So after converting the left off voltage to current, I think the current should increase on this controller. So check here, you have about 3.3 amps. This is the current rating of this MPPT controller. You can see that the MPPT controller has increased the current by about maybe 200% or 300%. Okay, so that's about 3.3. So it converted the other the left of voltage to current. So we have a higher current with this MPPT controller as compared to the PWM controller. Okay, so that is the efficiency of an MPPT controller as you compare it to a PWM controller. Okay, so if you have not subscribed to the channel, please click on the subscribe button and also the notification button so that you will get informed, you get real-time updates, practical electrical knowledge that regards installation and solar, others, CCTV cameras, everything about electrical. So peace out.